disappointed in you. You got a D.
I know.
I mean, what were you thinking? Did you not work at all?
No, I tried.
I mean, that's it. No after school activities, no seeing your friends for the
Mom.
entire semester until you get better grades.
Grades.
Oh my gosh! You must be the smartest kid in the class. I am so proud of you. You are so smart. You're so good.
You're my grade, Mom.
Oh, how do you feel about the grades?
I'm not so happy about that D.
Oh, you look really unhappy about the D. So, what do you think you can do about it?
I wanted to ask you about like tutoring maybe, and I noticed I'm really distracted in the back of the class, so I think I should move forward.
Okay, so what grade, if you had tutoring, what grade do you think you could get?
I want to say an A. I think I can really do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll work on getting the tutor, and I'll start that right away. And then how about you talk to your teacher about moving you in the class?
Okay. That
All right.
sounds good.
This video is to explain the difference between encouragement versus praise. So let's say a child gets their report card and you say, wow, you must be the smartest kid in the class. You're the best. You're such a good girl. You're such a good boy. I'm so proud of you. I bet you got the best grades in the whole class. What do you think the child would be thinking? A, I'm better than all the others. B, if I make good grades, my parents will love me. External motivation rather than intrinsic motivation. It's different, okay? If I praise the child about and speak about how proud I am of them and how I feel about them when they get their grades, then it's all about trying to please me instead of trying to get the grades because they want to get into college or because they feel good about themselves, that sort of thing. What would I say if I were encouraging a child? I would say, how do you feel about these grades? It looks like you really love learning. Which grades are you most proud of? Which subjects are your favorites? Which ones were easiest to study with? In which subjects is it easier for you to study? That sort of thing makes your child think about what he likes, what he doesn't like, and it makes him proud of himself or her proud of herself for the accomplishments that she has. So why do you think it's important to give these child these messages? And let me just say that if your children are already teenagers, this still applies because you could still teach them these lessons. It might just be weird for them, or they may say, what are you doing, Mom? I know my kids, when I started these types of programs, started saying, stop therapizing me. But in reality, you're loving them and you're learning a new way of parenting them. So anyway, the child is learning from these messages that it's important to note how he or she feels about himself during the process. The enjoyment of learning has rewards, and how to search internally rather than looking to others for approval. This is a great life skill. So I'm going to repeat those three again. And the last one is my favorite, and it's a really great life skill to be teaching your children at any age. It's important how she feels, and it's important to identify how she feels. The enjoyment of learning has its rewards, being proud of themselves for learning. How to search internally rather than looking to others for approval or disapproval. These are the benefits of encouraging your child versus praising your child. So let's do this one more time. When your child gets a report card and it has a D on it, or a grade that you don't approve of, what do you say? How could you get at that D? I can't believe a child of mine would have gotten a D in science. I'm so good at science. How come you're not good at science? I mean, sometimes we say these things. What were you thinking when you were getting that grade? I'm so disappointed in you. And then, okay, you're grounded until the next grading period so that you can do better in the next grading period. How do you think your child feels? They're not going to come, they're going to try to avoid telling you their grades. They're not going to feel motivated. They're not going to feel intrinsically motivated to get good grades. They might not even feel capable of getting good grades because you've just shot them down. They may feel like, well, mom just talked to me like that, or dad just talked to me like that. I'm probably not smart enough to get the grade anyway, so whatever. And they could give up. You know, there's different ways that kids react. They could rebel or they could just give up. Now I'm going to demonstrate the effective way. Your kid comes home with a report card and they have a D or a C. How do you feel about these grades? Okay, you're feeling discouraged about that D. I could see that. What would you rather it be? What is it that you think you could do differently next time to bring the D up? So I repeat that last little section, which I consider the effective way of encouraging your child when they get a D or a C or a grade that you don't approve of on a report card. You might say to them, how do you feel about these grades? Or, oh, you're feeling discouraged about the D, or you're unhappy about the D, or you feel like the D sucked. Whatever it is they said, you're going to mirror that. And then what would you like it to be? Then if it's realistic, you say to them, well, what could you do differently next time to create that letter grade improvement that you're looking for? And if it's reasonable, like let's say they get a D, but they happen to really struggle in a certain subject and you get them tutoring and it's still not working, then you could say, well, how can I support you in working on your grades better? And maybe they'll say, you know, I need more discipline with my homework. I need maybe to be sitting up at the front of the class instead of the back of the class. You know, they may come up with other options that are, sure, let's try it and let's see if you can bring your grade up. Teach them to come up with that stuff on their own. The other thing that I wanted to mention is if your child has a D in one class, but he has A's and B's in all the other classes, sometimes you can give it a pass if it's not their strong class, it's not their strong subject, and you've done everything to help them. They've done everything to help themselves. They just can't bring their grade up in that class because it's not their strong suit. You might want to give it a pass. The other thing is if there's a sudden drop in grades, that could be a warning sign that something's happening, and start talking to your teen or to your grade school child or to your high schooler. Start talking to them about what's going on in the classroom. How can you support them in getting better grades? And maybe look at who their friends are. All of this may be a warning sign in the event that there's a sudden drop in grades. Maybe they're unhappy about something. It's worth investigating that further.